loves ice.
Have you guys heard of this place, Dunkin' Donuts? Yeah. It's not bad. When you order a coffee, they give you a hot chocolate that's like this big. And you're like, that's not coffee. But it's good.
Did you have it?
Yeah.
Did you like the Dunkin'?
How do you not like that?
I don't know. We don't have Dunkin' Donuts out west, so. It's ubiquitous out here.
What's up? I saw one Starbucks next to a Dunkin' Donuts.
There's
and I
Starbucks
chose the
everywhere.
Dunkin' Donuts instead.
Here.
Thank you.
Tim, pull it together.
Here. This is gonna be a good show. I can feel it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a nightmare. I already almost fell on my ass.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked when they stopped and shut the door. Colin went, "Oh man, good turnout." And I was like, "Yeah." And then they opened the door for the second room, and it was like, "Oh. Hi, second room." I was waving at you, Mr. Flannel Man, walking in, pointing at your head, pointing at me, pointing at your head. I don't.
This is me pointing at you, pointing at.
It isn't Watch Dogs. I can't look at him and see his name pop out.
What are you doing?
Why are you putting your hand in the thing of ice? Nick, this is how you get really sick at PAX.
I guarantee no one else had their hand in that ice before me.
But you've shaken
You
hands.
have had your hands on other people's
I haven't
hands.
shaken one hand today. Not one
So
hand
you
today.
haven't touched a door handle of the camera?
Tim takes it all for me.
Yeah.
He handles that all for me.
Tim takes it all for you every night.
Always.
How you feeling,
what I
Greg?
did
You
there?
sound like shit right now, but you look good. But it always trips me out when you have 5 o'clock shadow.
This is 3 days.
So, you know, when Greg has 5 o'clock shadow, it looks like when a little kid dresses up like a hobo, like for Halloween, and like
Yeah,
just
it's
does
like the shoe
makeup.
polish on. Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm good. I feel really good. It was like last night at the Borderlands party.
Yeah.
Thanks for everybody who came. That was after the meet and greet party, which was after a night of parties the night before. And so in the Borderlands party, I was like, oh man, I'm screaming. I'm like, well, I can take it easy. Oh no, I got to go do the Paxomania in the morning, where my whole job is to scream at people. That's going to be a little bit rough. And then I get to come here. But it's also one of those things of like, it's like, Colin, you'll follow me on this one. If you remember in Final Night, when Superman's abilities went away
Right,
for
of
a while
course.
because the sun was being eaten by the Sun Eater, it was similar to that in the way of like, now I just have to be like a normal person. Now I just have to remember this is how normal people
There's an enemy
speak.
called the Sun Eater.
Sun Eater, yeah.
So like a black hole.
Yeah, but the Legion of Superheroes from the future, they didn't know about it yet.
Oh. All right. See you later.
Hi, Cher. How are you? Fantastic. It's good. It's a great shirt. Great shirt. You chose correctly. Wisely, as they say in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Wisely. What's your name?
You
Everyone
back
has
the
Jack.
party that can't even show up to the fucking panel it's on.
They're here on time, technically. I mean.
Technically. Are we rolling back there? Are we all set?
No, we're rolling.
Josh, are we rolling?
Josh Miller's rolling back there. Thanks, Josh Miller.
Thanks, Josh Miller. Everyone, that's Josh Miller.
Can we click over here for the oh, there we go. You know this well.
Road cone.
We're going to start the show as we normally would start the show.
It seems so much louder on the internet.
It is louder on the internet.
Is there like one Bose speaker behind us or something?
I don't know what's happening.
I want you guys to know.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the GameOverGreggy show live at PAX East 2015. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside He Only Does Everything, Colin Moriarty.
Go Islanders.
Next to him, the producer/seducer, Nick Scarpino.
Hello.
And over there, rounding out the crew at his second PAX East panel ever, the pure one, Tim Gettys.
Let Tim host.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hundreds of you that I can't believe came to this panel, thank you very much for coming. The ground rules are simple. It's an interactive show. I'm going to ask you questions. What are you going to do when I ask you something? Don't fucking raise your hands. Oh, I hate it when you do that. Clap, cheer, boo. You respond that way. You raise your hands. The kids are listening to this on the MP3. They don't know what's happening. They sit
whole
there like the
rigmarole.
MP3 broke. They think I'm lying about hundreds of people being here. I can't have that, Tim. Can't have it at all.
No.
Now, you all been the best friends possible. You've all been supporting us as we've branched out on our own. We're going to talk about all of that. But first, there's a whole bunch of Towerfall characters here in the audience. They tweeted me asking to acknowledge them, so you have been acknowledged.
We acknowledge you.
Stand up and show them your beautiful outfits. Towerfall, of course, a great game. One of our favorites. We have lots of stuff planned, lots of surprises for you, some giveaways. But first, Tim, Nick, Colin, I haven't seen you in a long time.
That's been crazy.
I saw you for 5 seconds last night at the meet. By the way, thanks for everyone who came out to the meet and greet yesterday. That was a blast.
A lot of fun.
That was a blast. I saw you like a spectrum for a second, and then everyone took a picture with you.
Like a spectrum?
Yes.
You mean like a
Spectre.
specter?
Like a specter. Oh, it's gonna be a hard one, everyone.
I was just a
Let's get
range
through
of
it together.
colors in front of you, and you're like, what am I
It's
seeing?
a beautiful rainbow. I saw you for 5 seconds. I saw Colin. You posted up underneath the hockey game, which is smart.
Yeah, I just
So
wanted
you
to
could
keep.
just kind of
Colin.
subtly look back and see the score.
Yeah,
and
I was
keep
keen.
shaking hands like a politician.
Didn't turn out very well, but yeah.
Yeah, Greg went to the women's bathroom like 5-6 times.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Whoa, what's that doing there? We don't want Beyond up there. People still remember, Colin.
I know.
They'll never forget. Never forget.
Thank you.
Damn it, go away, Nathan Drake. Oh, now this raises an... No, it's just that I don't know how to use Windows photo mode. Now this raises a good point. Many of you came up to me. Many of you... No, that one didn't change. You can't yell at that one.
Greg, you gotta make a new folder and then drag the Kind of Funny Games one into that folder and then open it.
Seems like a lot of work. I'm just going to do it there. A lot of you have come up to me. This is where I want to bounce off ideas that I haven't had a chance to talk with you guys about at all. A lot of you came up to me and said, hey, is it still okay to yell Beyond at you? What do we do about that? Da-da-da-da-da.
What do we do
Of course,
about
it's fine to yell Beyond at us. It's fine.
It's fine. Sean, good to see you.
But Beyond only applies to Greg and Colin, really. So we, and I say we, and I point at them, I mean you and I, at random parts of this PAX convention have been spitballing what we could do for Kind of Funny. Some people have said best friends. I say that's not good enough. That doesn't work. I'm bouncing it off of you guys, and then we'll go from here. Do you know Marco Polo?
I've heard of him.
I watch that show.
Are you talking about the game or the person?
Yes. Where one person yells Marco,
Yeah.
the other has to respond Polo.
Fish out of water.
Exactly.
I used to just
What
put
if
my
we
hand in the
replace
water.
Beyond with funny? So now try it. Right? No, you didn't hear it in a good one. That was a bad one.
I understand,
Only
though,
3
okay.
people understood where I was going
Okay.
with that. So on 3, you're all going to yell it, and then we'll respond.
Wait,
so
we're responding?
Yeah, because this is how it works in real life. In real life, all right, Tim,
Yeah.
go
Walking
down there.
the street.
Go down there by the speaker. All right, so Tim Gettys is walking through Disneyland, just chilling, and you see him. On 3, what do you yell at him? 1. Yeah. Nick Scarpino's walking into a back alley to buy an illicit substance. You see him. What do you yell?
Funny. What?
God damn it.
Colin's in his room, and for some reason you see him there, not talking to anybody or playing online. What do you yell?
Funny.
Nice. And here I am, eating all the wings in the goddamn world. What do you yell? Funny!
I want to. You brought up the wings, and I want to just talk about how good you look, how much weight you've lost, and how,
Everyone just saw me at the PAX Mania wrestling panel.
Yeah,
I
you look
assure
good.
you.
You look great.
I had my gut hanging out.
You look great. You look like $1 million.
What are you talking about? You look good too. Team Fat is in right now. Clothes are somehow hiding it well. I don't know. Thank you, Cher. Let's share, everybody.
It is about what you eat.
How's that water you're drinking, Greg? Is the water
It's
good?
delicious.
Did you have good salad?
How's your
last night?
fucking hand ice you've been just chewing on like a psychopath?
It's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
The unsung hero with the Voss water.
Yeah. It's more than what all the harmonics people make in a year. That's what I say. That's a reference to the previous wrestling panel. I just sound like an asshole out of context.
Classic Greg.
Sorry about that. Just about everything I say. So anyways,
Well, I just want to say, I don't. My personal opinion on this is this whole
Kind of
call and response kind of thing here is, I feel like that was for beyond. Like I don't know if Kind of Funny Games or GameOverGreggy show needs its own thing. That was a place in time. You know,
I
not
agree.
every podcast had like Podcasts Unlocked didn't have their thing. I don't think
They didn't yell like
Unlocked.
A B X Y. McCaffrey and all that.
So I don't know. It's just something to throw out there and consider.
Do you a round of applause if you want something to yell at us?
50-50.
Round of applause if you want to be normal people and not shout at each other. All right.
Don't raise your hand. Please don't
Don't
raise your hand.
raise your hand. That's not how this podcast works. God damn it.
It's very hip hop. I'm down with that. They like to do that. When I say this, you say that.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm into it.
So you're into it because of that. Is this the same pigeon shirt you wore at the last
This-
time we did a
yeah.
live panel?
So that's why it's all faded and shit. I tried buying more. A bunch of kids told me on Twitter, they're like, oh, here, you can get them here. And then I tried buying a bunch, and then they sold out. And I'm pretty sure it's because other motherfuckers bought the shirt.
Everybody's jacking your style.
It's a good style.
So I guess that's what it comes down to. What has everybody else been doing at PAX?
I slept today.
God damn
yeah,
it.
today was a sleep day for sure.
I literally.
What did you
I
do
called
yesterday?
We got
the
Wendy's.
show floor. Got Wendy's. Yeah. Played a couple games.
What'd you play?
Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time.
That was
That game,
awesome,
which is
by
an
the
awesome
way.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had to wait like an hour to play it because we didn't have you.
Nobody knows
this
who
is
you
what
are
it
yet.
Feels like to be normal.
But we played it, and then we won for love, and at the end, this big heart exploded. It just felt right, because everyone that knows about the Scarpino Gettys 2016 knows that it's all about love. And at the end, when that heart exploded, there was a crowd of people behind us that cheered, and it just felt
They
right.
cheered for love.
Yeah.
Because
So it
love
was
is
good.
what makes the world go around, ladies and gentlemen. In 2016, it'll propel Tim Gettys and I all the way to the White House. Or whatever house. We don't have to be in the White House.
Yeah, no. There's a whole spectrum
That's
of
racist.
colors.
When you look at a house, you see a spectrum.
Spectrum of houses.
Colin, what have you been up to?
Just hanging out.
Just chilling? Yeah.
He's been hanging tough.
I played Final Fantasy 15 yesterday, and then
Boo. Tough crowd about
And-
Final Fantasy.
and then I just went back to we did the meet and greet at Connors at Northeastern. I walked around Northeastern for like an hour, got really nostalgic and sad.
Did you get Five Guys?
Then I got Five Guys. Then I was gonna go back to Five Guys.
You went back to Five Guys?
I was really thinking about it. I'm like, I
You should have
can't.
called me. I would have gone with you.
Because for lunch I had Wendy's, and then I had Five Guys for dinner, and then I'm like, I kind of want Five Guys again.
Yeah.
10 guys is too much, Colin.
10
10 guys is too much.
And then I just rendezvoused with some old college friends I haven't seen in a long time.
We hung out with a lot of people that we like a lot. Ashley Jenkins over at
Rooster
Rooster
Teeth.
Teeth. Yeah,
we
that
saw
was
her.
fun.
That was fun.
One fan of Rooster Teeth.
Shout out to you.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in
We
an
met a lot of cool
Achievement
people.
Hunter shirt, too. A big fan of Rooster Teeth.
So that's it.
All right, cool. You guys have really lived it up at PAX.
It's
No, I mean, that's been the interesting thing of being here. This is the first time any of us have been to one of these shows where we don't work for IGN, and so it's not like we have to put out the breaking news, right?
awesome. It's like a different way of living that you didn't even know existed.
Sure, we get to. I mean, like that's the fun thing about what we make right now, right? We make Colin and Greg Live, and we make the Gamescast, and we make all the Let's Plays and stuff. So if we're going to talk about games, we're going to put it into that structure, right? There's no sense breaking out and doing something crazy like streaming from GDC for 6 hours a day for 3 days straight. But like this one, we get to come here and handle it in a different way, which is nice. It's nice.
It's
nice.
It's
Nice.
it's different. It's very different. I mean, that's what I tweeted out yesterday about it because I just had like a revelation. I'm like, this is the first time I've come to a show and really been able to enjoy myself. You know? Because we always say, and I don't think people understand, like when you go to E3, like I hate E3.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, God,
like
yeah.
I hate it, but that sounds so weird to people
still
that are
love
so
it.
excited about games because we had to work
it's not-
16 or 18 hours a day for like
Yeah. It's not that you
forever.
hate E3 per se. It's that it's just a ton of work.
It is, and that, well, yeah, so you put those two things together. And
Yeah,
you're like,
it's
I don't want to go to
synonymous in your
E3,
brain.
and now I'm like really excited to go to E3 for the first time. And so this PAX East is the first time we've been to a show, whether it's Tokyo Game Show or Gamescom or whatever, where it's like, well, you know, you can just see what you want, and do what you want, and enjoy it like a normal person enjoys it.
Yeah.
And the essential kind of news work that's being done by our friends in the media, it's great, but we don't have to do that anymore.
Right.
And
We're a different breed now.
that makes me very happy.
We've evolved and have like a robot eye.
We do.
When I think of like a dinosaur, like the next step of a dinosaur, robot eye.
What?
Yeah. I'm the next step of a dinosaur. Yes, good call. That's a
It's been a
terrible.
long weekend, guys.
Makes a lot of sense.
Get through it together.
No, it's been an exciting weekend. Obviously, hanging out with everybody, doing different things, seeing cool games. But like for me, this is a pivotal moment. This panel right now, and the Kind of Funny legacy, because like you know, obviously, the panel is titled, you know, why we left $100,000 for 100,000 subs. to fucking answer the question I didn't even think was a question, let's explain the math on the $100,000. Because y'all have been hounding us on Twitter. Like, no, we didn't each make $25,000. Like, everyone's like, how did you even live in San Francisco? No, we didn't all make $100,000 either. Clearly, the unsung hero did, and then it goes down in a very, I'm sure in drastic ways, drastic spikes. I'm not sure what Tim made, but I'm just saying. But no, like for me, this is a big moment for us because last PAX East was our first GameOverGreggy show panel, and it was Tim and I, and then it was Tim Schafer, and then it was Jared from Zombie, and that was great, and that was awesome, but like, it wasn't the whole crew. And it was so cool to walk the floor on Friday and have people run up to Colin and me or Tim and I and be like, oh man, where's Nick or where's the, and we'd be like right behind you. And they'd turn like, oh my God, you know what I mean? Like, no, that's never happened before. We're never all sent to the same shows before because we all had to ping it to like what we were doing with IGN and who we were there and stuff. And even last year's PAX show, right, like that was, and to their credit, right, not that I'm knocking them for it, that was a sticking point for IGN. Is the fact that they sent Tim and I to PAX to cover it for IGN, and then we were doing something for our own business. And then that gets confusing as to, you know, what is GameOverGreggy and how does that influence, da-da-da-da. And those are legit concerns to have, but then I got all mad about it because, of course, I'm like, I can't have a lunch break. I can't podcast on my lunch break. And so that, you know, is one of the examples, right? No. Of like what led us to this point of this new independent life of being out on our own and having our own panels and having you in our own shirts, which is pretty fucking amazing. Thank you all for that. And having you all as best friends. So I guess like, I mean, how does it feel for you, Colin? I mean, to be where we are now. I mean, we're 3 months, 3 months in. Yeah, 3 months in, right? March 5th.
Yes.
I talk about this all the time. When we told IGN we were quitting in October, in the middle of October, to when we left at December 31st, that felt like years.
Yeah, it really did.
It just felt like, you know, I mean, not in a bad way, right? But just in the way of like, oh man, you talk to people about it and you'd be like, yeah, it's coming soon, I guess. It just doesn't feel like
It was like Half-Life 3.
It was like Half-Life 3. Never coming. And then now here we are, and it feels like now it's just been sand through your fingers. I can't keep up with all the time.
Yeah, it's been awesome. I'm really honored and humbled by the support you've all given us and the people, you know, folks that aren't here, obviously. You know, a lot of people ask us why and how we could leave a place like IGN, and you know, the answer I always give and is that we owe everything to IGN because they gave us an opportunity and they gave us a shot, and we love them and we wish them the very best. But we didn't want to do that anymore, and you know, or I can only speak for myself. Like I didn't want to do what I was doing there anymore, and I don't, you know, I wasn't happy. And this makes me happy, and you guys make me happy. Yeah. So, you know, it's just a different world and a world we control, and we do things the way we want to do them. And I think that one of the things I really like about what we do is our transparency and our communication with you guys. And I feel like it's much more personal and it's much more intimate. And, you know, we exchanged, you know, a lot of reach for a lot of, you know, intimacy. And I think that was the right call for us.
Sure.
Maybe not for everybody, but you know, for the four of us. For
the four of us, for sure, yeah. I mean, and that was the thing that I always talk about it being weird and how odd this timetable has been for me, right? And the fact that, you know, IGN, I would have been 8 years on March 1st, and how much I love that company. I was the face of the company. I loved it so much, but like probably a year and a half ago, a little bit more than a year and a half ago, people would start coming up to me at industry events. Like, oh man, yeah, great, up in Instagram, great. They're like, so when are you leaving? And it was like they saw something I didn't see yet, you know what I mean? And then when we found our flow with what we were doing and, you know, everybody was on board, right? Like that, a big part of rebranding from GameOverGreggy to Kinda Funny was to give you guys, you know, equal voice in this, right? To make it not feel like you were working on my side channel or whatever, and that you were all co-founders, you were all partners on how this worked. And when we got that in there and we all started trying, and like, not even to say we gave it our all, right? To give what was left after a whole day of work to go podcast till midnight and be a bunch of assholes. Like, once that all worked out and we were like doing really well as assholes, it seemed like a normal, you know, the thing to do to branch off and go do this. And obviously we had your support, and the first Patreon that we launched that summer, or, you know, coming out of that summer.
September.
Yeah, right after the 100 Pence video, right? Or with the 100 Pence video. That was the real light switch moment. And that's what I've been telling people all the time. But they're asking, how is Kinda Funny going? And blah, blah, blah. And they're always asking, like, so when are you going to move to LA? Or when are you moving somewhere else? Or what are you doing next? And it's like, I try not to even answer that question anymore, because when last summer, we're talking about maybe in a year and a half, we'll be where we need to leave to IGN. We can go and do this, and, you know, we'll have ad deals or whatever, sponsorships. We'll be working on that. We'll understand that side of the YouTube business. But then when we launched the Patreon, that was really oh shit, Like, people like what we do, and people do care about us. And even though they know we have fantastic jobs, they're willing to do this. So what if we didn't have jobs anymore? You know what I mean? What if we were able to focus on making the content we cared the most about? And that was it for us.
Yeah, and you tell that story when we talked about, we got together and we're like, what would it take for all of us to leave? And we added up the big number of what we're all making. And we're like, that's never going to happen. But then it became, after that first Patreon, we saw kind of that there was an audience for what we were doing and that there were people out there that kind of liked it and wanted to help support us. It became less about, is it important what we're making now, or is it important what we could potentially be doing, right?
Yeah.
And like it went from a question of what would we need to have in a big bucket of money to leave versus, what would it be like if we left?
Yeah.
And we took the plunge, and it was fun, and it worked, which is surprising. Yeah, I'm not going to say that.
This table.
Or these two tables, as it were.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of a butt in between. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I think it was different for each and every one of us. Like, I had been in IGN, I think the longest, with the exception of.
Just put up the PAX East logo.
What's that?
Your computer is dying.
Oh, your computer's dead. With the exception of Colin, who you interned before, right, and did some stuff and written freelance. But for 9 years, I was there, and it's a great job, and it's a great place to work. And I had a couple people ask me, how do I work for a place like IGN? And that's still a great goal. We don't want to take anything away from those guys. They're still great. We're still friends with them, and it's still a phenomenal place to work. But after a while, you just kind of have to do something different. And if anyone out there that feels that, you can probably sympathize. You've been in a place for a really long time, and sometimes you just need a change. And that's the way it goes.
Yeah, you've said before that it's like that used to be your dream, but now it's someone else's dream,
Yeah.
and now you're just living their dream. So you need to figure out what your new dream is,
Right.
and
Yeah.
like make room for
Thinking
someone
football
else.
player. What do you think?
What's that?
Professional football
Yeah,
player?
football player or astronaut.
Or
one of the
hip-hop
two.
artist?
Hip-hop artist, astronaut, football player.
Done.
Sounds good to me.
Cool dream.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I was at IGN for 5 years, and obviously I'm a little on the younger side compared to these guys. And I had a lot to learn from them. So I kind of had an easier time because it was I still had to work really hard, but it was expedited a lot because they were so frustrated and like fed up with how everything was. They already were moving on from the dream. Whereas for me, I could have stayed there a couple more years, but I believed in this, and I was like, this is what I need to do. And I keep saying to everybody, like at the meet and greet last night, like I feel like my whole life I've been working towards this, and now I feel like I reached for the stars and I grabbed one. Now I have it in my hand. I'm like, oh shit, I never expected to actually grab this. Like I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
But it's like I have these guys to kind of lean on, and like they're helping me figure that out. And now it's like, whoa. And I'm already seeing at IGN, there's people coming in that are like starry-eyed, and like that's their star that they grabbed. And to see them be able to grow, like guys like Josh Miller, who interned for a while.
Josh
like,
Miller, everybody.
I was able to.
There he is.
Coming into IGN, like I had guys like Nick, kind of mentor me and help me a bit and like get me where I needed to be. And like to have like Josh come in, for me to be able to do that to him, it was like a really eye-opening experience where I was like, oh man, this is what growing up feels like. And so now, like to move on to do this, it's just like, whoa, I'm a grown-ass man.
Whoa.
How weird is it for you to be a grown-ass man at 25 who
It's
like
weird.
owns a business and runs it? Like, are you just the coolest kid when you go play Pokemon cards?
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm always like throwing them down. I'm just like, man, I need more energy cards. And they're just like,
You're like, oh wait, I got a bunch of money because I own a business. I can do this.
throwing down dollar bills. And they're like, that doesn't work. You need
That's not how
you need
Pokemon-
fire energy. Come on, man.
But no, it's been crazy. Like in this timetable, right? Of like we said that, then we quit 6 months later after that conversation. Then we're like, well,
sure.
maybe we'll be able to hire someone one day. Maybe 9 months. We hired Kevin 2 weeks ago, and now we have all these other big questions floating around. But it's it's an exciting journey to be on. Someone earlier, you sir, you asked if you could hug Kevin. Stand up. Kevin has of course never been revealed, and he never will be. Kevin is the air and the molecules. He's all around us. He's all matter. So I'd like you to just come to the center aisle here and just hug the air. Imagine how tall you think Kevin is, and then just hug based on that. There it is. Here it comes.
It's very symbolic.
There you go, Kevin.
Damn, that's a
Josh Miller.
bear hug there. He's going,
Josh
taking him down or whatever. So
Kevin's
Tim,
going to love that.
Yeah, he'll never see it. Right, we'll actually probably make him edit this episode.
Yeah,
so
he will,
he'll see that
100%.
action and stuff. So Colin, what's next for Kind of Funny?
I don't know. It's kind of up to you guys, actually. I mean, like, I think, we're trying to figure things out as we go.
Yeah.
I think that we are at critical mass in terms of our pipeline. but we have to figure out like the shows we want to do next and stuff. We're probably gonna bring back Follow the Leader, I assume, because of your guys' feedback. We're bringing back a conversation with Colin. And by the way, I just want, because some people, we talked about it internally. Some people were like really upset about Conversation with Colin being canceled, and like it was really, I was kind of like leading the charge to try to cancel the show because, first of all, it's just a silly show, and we've done like 120 of them or something like that. But the whole idea was if we cut this show out, we can do a new show that maybe is better. But you guys don't want a better show. You want a Conversation with Colin.
You want the same garbage show.
So we're gonna give you more of that. So we want to continue to solicit your feedback. We just did our Patreon survey that I think was very illuminating for us. And the cool thing about this, and something that IGN can't do because it's too big, or just companies like it, is that we can really adapt very quickly.
Right.
And it's really important to us to adapt very quickly. A lot of people complained about the length of the intros on the clip outs for GameOverGreggy show, so we shortened it.
And now they're complaining that they're too
Now
short.
they complain it's too short, but it's too bad. So
Once you go short, you can't go long.
no, I've heard that. I've heard that.
Damn.
So I don't know. I mean, I think that the future is unclear.
Yeah.
It's murky, but we're in a good place right now, and personally, I'm in like a great spot right now. I didn't realize like how unhappy I was, just in kind of going through the motions and not really being thrilled with my job anymore. Like Tim was saying, like that really was my dream job. IGN approached me to start freelancing for them when I was 18. I interned for them when I was 19. I graduated from college at 22, and they offered me a job. I didn't even apply. And then I'm 30 now. So like that was like 12 years of my life. But like, these guys were saying it was time to move on. So what I'm excited about is that there is no written future. We're going to figure it out as we go along. And I think that, thanks to you guys, it should be pretty bright, I think. Yeah.
Round of applause. Don't raise your goddamn hand. No, stop. By a round of applause, who backs us on Patreon? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
If you back us on Patreon, you know that we promised a live event, and we've been talking and hinting at this for a while, doing a live show in San Francisco, live recording of the real show, topics and all that jazz, as long as we want, unlike these PAX monsters with their time limits. I'm looking at you, monster lady. So we're doing that. We're finally honing in, and forever I've been saying the end of April, but I want to give everybody 2 months to get there. So I want to know, by Oz, like, is it a big deal if we did it like May 9th? You don't care. You're not going to come. Round of applause. Who would come, for real, to San Francisco? Okay, that's all. That's looking good.
I wouldn't want to come to San Francisco either, but I'll tell you this much, Greg. I think I like how you phrase it. Like we need to give you 2 months to get there, as if they're like getting a covered wagon in Delaware and then riding across the United States.
They gotta request time off work, book plane tickets when they're not crazy expensive.
No, I understand. Just the way you phrased it was funny.
I'm just taking care of everybody. Shu? Did you just yell Shu? Like Shuhei Yoshida? Now you're yelling Jew? That's just, I don't even know what to do with that. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Okay. I don't know what's happening over there. They're getting crazy.
I know. I don't like it.
This whole show, we want to make sure that, this is our chance to interface with you publicly. So please come up to microphones. Feel free to chime in. It won't be as crazy as when we were asking Tim Schafer about Thomas the Tank Engine being sexy. No, sir, who stood up? Please go. I'm saying, Sean Pitts, you've been sitting there forever. I want to make sure that this is your chance to actually get the questions. This is the most kind of funny shirts I've ever fucking seen.
They're awesome.
Also, really quick, too, remember, at the end of this, we're going to go into a separate room. One of the enforcers will tell us where to go. Not you, monster lady. You'll give me no information. I'm kidding. I love you. Your hair's very pretty.
You have great hair.
Anyways, after this, we're going to go into a panel room where we can just take photos and sign autographs. So don't worry about running away at the end and everything else.
I was saying before because this is my first PAX East, the term enforcer, in hockey means you beat the shit out of people. So
that's actually what that term means across the board.
That seems like a really threatening name for people that help.
No, she's punching her fist. She's
he's the one who's talking all the shit.
Talk shit,
he's my goon. He's my goon. He'll come in and fight you.
It just seems like it's like, PAX East helpers.
They're guardians at RTX. Right? Yeah. Is that better? Are you happy with Guardians?
Way friendlier.
It's like go up to the PAX East enforcer and get knocked the fuck out.
and we just saw a whole crew of them dancing through the hallway to Chumbawamba tub thumping.
My God.
That's terrifying.
As scary as it gets. Yes, Sean Pitts, everybody, super fan.
Hey guys, how's it going? So, You guys talked about in the future that one day you would be hiring people. I wanted to know what someone could do to get on your radar. What would impress you in a potential future employee?
I feel like you're on our radar, if that's your question.
That's my goal, eventually.
I mean, honestly, it's the best advice that anyone could give anyone is just do things.
Yeah,
like,
create.
do whatever it is that you're doing, and if what you're doing is impressive, you're going to get noticed. Like, if you put your heart into it and your passion into it, that's honestly the best thing you can do. Like, it's not about resumes. It's not about any of that. It's like, make a name for yourself and make people know that you matter, and like keep screaming at people and say, let
scream
Tim
in a
host.
nice way.
If you scream let Tim host enough, they'll let you fucking host. It's weird that's how it works.
You have to quit your job to do it first.
Yeah, you need to quit first.
I
But-
would quit right now. I'll call my boss right now.
But what I'm
and
saying
move
is,
to San
like,
Francisco.
whatever it is that you think that, whatever you want to do, just make sure that's happening. I wanted to do internet video, so I did internet video. It's that simple. Skate better.
Cool. Nick?
Oh, yeah, I double that sentiment. You know, I always tell people if you want to get a job someplace, you know, figure out who works there, figure out what you can do to get their attention, and figure out what kind of work they are looking for. And those are the questions that you just asked. It's a funny thing, though. I guarantee I've seen this happen a lot of times where people create to get other people's attention, and then once they do, what's up?
I was finishing a panoramic shot.
Okay, great.
I'm
sure that turned out beautiful.
I'm encasing this moment in carbonite.
Awesome. And then once they get the people's attention, they no longer need it. And that's something that's probably a best case scenario is if you can arm yourself with the tools that you think you need to get a job at a place like IGN, you might find that you don't need that job anymore. And I'm not saying that's a great thing. It's always great to have options. But for everyone out there, obviously you like internet video. You like this kind of thing that we're doing all together. So yeah, start creating. Start a YouTube channel. Start a podcast. It's really cool. I've heard a lot of people say to us, like, hey, you inspired me to start a podcast. And I'm like, that's great because other people inspired me. These guys inspired me to start or to take part in the podcast that we're currently doing right before your very eyes.
But you inspired us to do the podcast you're seeing before your eyes. Because remember, it used to be that Nick and Tim would give us a ride home to go record the shows, and Nick would say the nastiest fucking shit in that car. And we were like, we
still
should make a
does.
show about this. And then Nick was like, we can't do that. And we're like, well, tone it back 2%, and then we will.
We toned it back like 200%.
More than that, I would say.
Yeah.
I'll let somebody else ask a question. Thank you guys so much. This weekend's been awesome.
Thanks,
Thank
no problem.
you.
Thanks for the support, man.
Hey guys.
Hey,
Hello.
how are you?
Hello.
Nice to see you in person. It's pretty
Introduce
cool.
yourself. Everybody who
Oh,
comes to the mic,
oh.
you got to tell us your name. Best
Yeah,
friends.
I'm Devin.
Hey, Devin.
guys.
Hello,
Hi,
Devin.
Devin.
Hi,
Go
Devin.
Bruins.
Wow, it is the biggest AA meeting on the planet. Hi, Devin.
I made it. You yelled at me while I was going to the bathroom, but
Yep.
I was in line. I wasn't skipping out.
Thank you. No, you did the right
yeah,
thing.
Yeah. So my question's for Colin.
Oh, no.
Colin,
Yes.
that game last night. The Merrimack had 7
Yeah.
shots. I go to UNH.
Oh, okay.
When they played UNH, they had 7 shots the entire game. Care to comment that they just beat Northeastern twice?
Yeah, I mean, Northeastern's hockey team is not good this year, so I have no idea how they're
They beat UNH.
Yeah, but they were not even in. I don't even know how they were in the playoffs. So.
Did that goal go in last night? Was it over the line?
It was sad to see them lose, but they lost the entire time I was here too. So.
I'm a Northeastern fan too. My mom went there. So.
Yeah, so I used to go to UNH games. Though it was a good. That's a great environment for hockey.
Yeah.
UNH. I was trying to explain to these guys because it was funny. Like Northeastern's hockey team is bad right now, so it's not really drawing fans and stuff like that. But it's cool to go to a school like Greg went to a school at Mizzou where like football and basketball are
I
huge.
did my freshman year at Alabama. Roll Tide.
So you know, like and it's cool to go to school up here. I went to Northeastern or go to BU or BC or Maine or UNH or all these places where hockey is really the shit. And it's like
Yeah.
it's so cool to be. It's so cool to be in places like that because I'm sick of watching college basketball on TV. I don't understand why college hockey, which is way better, isn't on TV more. So thank you for your question.
All right. Thank you guys.
And thank you for your support. Nice shirt.
Who are you, best friend?
I am Dylan. I know you
Hi,
guys.
Dylan.
Hi, Dylan.
Thank
I
you.
like you guys a lot.
I know you guys normally do like more of talk show based shows and whatnot, but now that you're a lot more free and you can kind of experience these events, kind of like we do, have you guys ever thought about doing like vlogs and like kind of traveling trip stuff? Because I know a lot of smaller YouTubers do it, but now that you guys kind of don't have to do it from a corporate side and you can do it from a fun side, I think it'd be really cool to see what you guys do, even if it's sleep in until noon. Nick.
It's Colin and I running around doing interviews, doing panels, and then it's just cutbacks to Nick asleep and Tim at Wendy's.
Yes.
All options are on the table.
All options on
Like
this
Barack
table.
Obama says.
Yeah.
options are on the table.
But right now for us, I think it's still about just getting the flow and the workflow. It's going to be interesting because like Colin suggested the other night another new show we should do.
I don't even want to.
I would not put that out right now.
You totally
Definitely
should right
not.
now.
The show is too good. If we put it out there, you would all flip out, and then you'd be asking me for the next 30 years how to do it, or when we're doing it, not how to do it. You put a camera on us and we talk. It's pretty easy. But the thing is like, when we get back on Monday, this will be the first week that we do Let's Plays on Monday afternoon instead of Friday afternoon, which has been a giant pain in the ass.
Yeah.
It'll be the first week we have Kevin there. It'll be the first week with Kevin that I won't be planning GDC and returning 1,000 emails when I have a free second and planning PAX in a very light way of planning PAX. I'll just show up and like go to Wendy's. So it's like, even though we have a sense of what a normal week for us is, like we're really about to start perhaps the most normal one we've had yet.
Yeah, I mean, adding Kevin was not. I don't think it necessarily. I think it brought us up to sort of level, right?
Sure.
Whereas before we were all underwater so deeply that adding him sort of now is where we're at a stress level that we should be at, not crazy. So, yeah, I think we're still a little behind, and I think that we are still, to Greg's point, getting the feel for how everything's supposed to kind of go and get in that production flow right now. Feel it.
So
Feel the flow.
when that kind of stuff
Let
happens,
yourself
that's
go.
when there's no, we don't have to feel like this is a vacation. When we feel like we can do vlog stuff easier and do it, and if there's an audience for it too, we're very cognizant, right, of the fact that, we loved IGN, we love IGN. Like IGN puts up too much content, we feel, on our YouTube page, and we don't want to become that. You know what I mean? So then now we get into this question of well, shit, should we each have an individual YouTube page as well that we put the vlog content on because we don't want to run off the things and we don't want to kill the numbers for the Friday show. You know what I mean? Like, it's a domino effect, and then we just get lazy and eat.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Who are you, best friend?
I'm Dave.
Hi, Dave.
First, Nick, your hair is just
On
superb
point.
today.
Dave, look at that hairline you got. You're like,
I know,
it's
right?
so beautiful. You wake up
I
every day
was
just
I was blessed. I really
you
was.
You were.
Hashtag blessed.
My question is, now that you've left IGN and you're doing this smaller thing, is it going to be like, are you kind of, I wouldn't say afraid, but like sketched out about doing coverage on larger events now that you don't have that huge backing of IGN, like pushing that stuff out and giving you a set schedule and what you got to do?
No, it's as with everything else, it's very liberating and it's very interesting. You know, the whole reason we're here at PAX East, and not to say this is the only reason we're here. The reason we're here, the way we got here, right, is that Square Enix flew us out to do the Just Cause panel, and like we've been up front, like like on Colin and Greg Live day one, people asked us like, "What's your ethics policy?" And Colin and I were like, "We're gonna tell you everything," like, you know what I mean, like whatever. And so like,
So when we did the order video or something like that.
yeah, we did the order video like this is sponsored by Sony, and then people are like, "I'm not gonna believe you," and people are like, they're talking about alternate history being cool. What's not to believe?
And then we didn't like the game, so.
Yeah. No, that's the same thing of like, you know what I mean? Like, we plan on going to every major show, and there's shows that we can't miss, won't miss, right? Like, even if they wouldn't have sent us to PAX East, we would have had a PAX East presence, right? I want to be at every PAX. I want to be at every consumer-facing show, because that's what I was talking about, right? The fact that I love E3 and I love Comic-Con and all this stuff. I love these shows because I'm here to see you. People always ask me, like, what's the best thing you saw for me? I don't know. I've seen Severed a million times. Severed's great, but it doesn't, I'm excited when I get to talk to you guys. And when you apologize for taking a photo or bugging me during food, I'm like, fuck that. I don't care. Like, that's the whole reason I came here was to be stopped, to talk to you, to take a photo, to try in the most minuscule way possible to tell you how much you mean to me. And so thanks to the upcoming award-winning game Just Cause. No. So that's the thing is, like, we'll be at the big shows. We'll be at the stuff we can't miss. When it comes to Comic-Con, when it comes to E3, if we don't go down there, like, because we're obviously, we're personality and we're production. So we're selling a thing of, like, we want to go to E3 and make videos for you. Who is that? You know what I mean? It might not be our audience again, because theoretically, we could sit at home and watch all the conferences and do Colin and Greg Live and not have to do it, right? But to go there and have a different presence, we want. What are you shaking your
One
head?
day that would be so lovely.
No, you'll miss
Sit in my
E3.
bathroom
You'll
and
miss
talk.
E3.
I will not miss E3.
You will. You'd
Oh
miss
my
E3.
God. No.
It would happen.
No, it could go by and I wouldn't even think about it. Am I right?
Thank you, Andrea. Andrea Renee, everybody. Gamescast alum.
Before we move on to the next question, I want to do something real quick. Can everybody in a Moriarty Miller shirt stand up?
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
All right. Oh, this makes me real happy. All right. Can
Sit
everyone in
down.
a Scarpino Gettys shirt please stand up?
All right,
2-1.
Three. We got 3.
What?
Just
It's like a caucus.
Just saying.
Can everybody in a Run GFB shirt stand up? 2? All right, 2.
Thank you.
Good point, Greg.
Thanks, guys. You're great.
Thank
You're
you.
great. Thank you so
We
much for the
appreciate you.
support, man.
Hey guys.
Beyond!
Beyond. I'm Dan.
Dan.
Hey everybody. So where the hell is Cheetos?
Oh, Cheetos.
That is always the question.
So he's actually at Wendy's right now. We saw him before we left.
Yeah. He
And
didn't
they were
recognize
giving him
us,
all types of shit. Like there was this crazy homeless guy, and he was talking about that he used to drive a tank. Did you hear that, by
Oh
the
my
way?
God, that was amazing. The guy
There's
was
a lot of
going on, it was
homeless
like
guys
World
here,
War II.
sorry.
I was like, fuck, this
My
dude knows
God,
a lot
shit
about
was
tanks.
getting deep. But then Cheetos came up and just bitch slapped him. It was like, shut up about your goddamn tank. And then it was crazy. We laughed. We didn't want none of that.
And now you don't know where he is?
Yeah.
Cheetos, yeah, we're hoping he shows up for the live event.
Oh, okay.
We're not quite sure, but he's in all of us, so that's good.
Well, I was wondering, since you guys have started this new business, it's very new, obviously. What have been some of your best experiences so far? Favorite experiences? Maybe something not great?
Best
Those are opposite
experiences-
things.
Well, we'll go with best experiences because that's more fun.
Awkward is Nick blowing up the bathroom every day right outside of Colin and Greg Live.
Yeah, my bathroom.
Do you like how when I go into it too, I give you a little look?
Yeah.
Like, just to make sure you know what's going on in there. It's the taco.
that
It's always the Monday
protein
after Taco
Starbucks
Bell.
meal you
It's
eat
like
every
Taco
morning.
Bell on Sunday nights for Game of Thrones and for Walking Dead. Absolutely. Oh, it's
It's
going
the
to be.
Starbucks stick. It's giving you the runs.
It's been hard because you have to learn a lot of things when you start a business. You have to learn a lot of the business administrative stuff that you just didn't have to take care of at a place like IGN. Like IGN has a legal department, an HR department, an engineering department, all these things, and so we have to sort of be all of that. So that's been stressful. One of the coolest things was like on the Kai bread over here though. Tim checked his Twitter feed, and all of you guys were tweeting at us like, "Hey, we're here, we're waiting in line." And I was like, "Damn, that's pretty fucking cool."
That's the thing I want to talk. I've talked about this on another. Well, and stay there because you're coming back to your question. But I don't know if you know this conversational show.
Yes.
I forget where it was. And Tim, you're the encyclopedia of previous GameOverGreggy shows. But we did one where we talked about like the cool things of our life or whatever it is. And I talked about last PAX East, where it was your first PAX East where you were like a personality. Where when we went in the other room and you signed for hours, I remember how big your eyes were, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember like when it wasn't normal for me to be stopped and want somebody want my autograph or whatever. Has it hit you yet, Nick? Like this is your first PAX East. This is definitely your first time as a personality because IGN hid you because you are hideous. But right now, like, is it setting in the fact that all these people love you?
No. I mean, because when I meet people, I was fortunate enough to meet a lot of you guys on the show floor and at the meet and greet, and it just was like talking to friends. That's what it feels like. It's cool. It's really cool.
It's fine.
It's awesome. Especially you, Mr. Pitts. give me a little walk-in real quick.
It's fine.
That's on point, man.
PETA.
Best stuff for you guys from the new life?
I mean, last night was crazy. Like the meet and greet was like super awesome because the 4 of us were there.
Yeah.
And because everyone was like just super happy and like talking so much shit to each other. I thought that was a lot of fun. Kevin Smith was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like being in Kevin Smith's house and being like, oh my God, this guy actually cares about us.
Eating his ginger snaps.
Oh yeah, he had ginger
That
snaps.
was weird. He was supposed to order us pizza because we were he was super late, and he's like, "I'll get you guys pizza," and then he forgot, and then at the end he remembered, and he was like, "Shit, I forgot the pizza. Here, have some ginger snaps." And he had a box of ginger snaps, and we were like, "I'm out." And each and every one of us was like, "I'm so fucking hungry. I'm gonna eat this shit out of
It
these
felt
ginger
it felt rude not to take a box of ginger snaps from Kevin Smith, and then we got in the car and ate them, and they were too spicy.
So we went to
We're like, well, these
Carl's.
don't even work for us. We can't even eat these.
You know, honestly, I think for me the biggest thing is whenever we put out any video that like we really put a lot of work into. Like we put work into everything, but when we put out the 100 pence video or the Super Bowl video that we did,
Yeah.
and to see like
One fan of the Super Bowl video.
the interaction that gets, like for example, at IGN, we'd pour our hearts into these videos, and then they'd come out, get a lot of views, and then the like to dislike ratio on YouTube would be like 1,000 likes and 300 dislikes, no matter what. And then now we put this out, and it's like 4,000 likes and 30 dislikes, and it's like, thank you guys. That is the
Yeah.
fucking best thing ever.
Yeah, I don't know. I know we talk about the wedding clap. Sorry. Clap now. No. No. We talk all the time about the best friend community and how great everything is, and how great you guys are to us. But I think that and since we didn't turn the camera off during Colin and Greg Live during GDC, I hope you heard some of it. But every one of those developers, and Jeff Keighley and Cliff Blazinski, were so floored that the comments were so positive. Those are people who don't have the luxury we have of building a community and staying in it and nurturing it and growing it the way we do. So when they go somewhere else and they're just in like the wild sphere of a GameSpot or an IGN comment system, it's all, this fucking douchebag, he doesn't know what he's doing. To have you guys be appreciative and nice and thank them, like that blows them away, and it makes us look better because they know we're actually making this community what we want it to be. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Colin?
Yeah, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with that. I think that I've said before, I'm fucking tired of the negativity on the internet. It's fucking tiring and annoying and obnoxious, and I don't think most people on the internet are like that. I think that a lot of platforms give rise and voice to those kinds of voices, and I think that I've said it before, and I've been very blunt about it. If you're one of those people, if you're one of those negative people, like we really don't want you in this community. Like it's like I want positivity, and I want we can debate and not agree. I mean, I say a lot of shit that's crazy, but the fact of the matter is that we want to be positive, we want to be nice. Like we want to have a place where it's not only about our interaction with me and you or us and you, it's the interaction with each other that I think is really important too. Like we have a really awesome Facebook group that's run by the fans. That's just like 2,000 fans, and I go and post there sometimes, and I read it or whatever. And these guys are they're meeting each other, and they're playing games with each other, and they're getting advice from each other. And something. I'm like, this is the shit right here. You know,
Yeah.
Enough of that negativity and that garbage. Like I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? Like so.
The whole like friend aspect is so important too, because like what Colin's saying, like last night at the meet and greet, like there was people coming as groups of friends that I had met at New York Comic Con like 2 years ago, or like PAX East last year and stuff. To see them, like they are now friends that hang out and do stuff, like that's super fucking cool.
Yeah, it's
and
awesome.
in addition to that, like just like you guys being our friends, like a couple weeks ago, the Power Ranger movie reboot trailer, whatever thing came out, and that was amazing. And I did not find that on Kotaku or on like some page or whatever. I found it because I woke up to my Twitter blowing the fuck up with everybody tweeting at me, Tim, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. And it's like, that's what friends do. You know?
Yeah.
And so that's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think it can be understated. It's not that we're the only ones doing something like this, because there are a lot of positive spaces on the internet, but it can't be understated that we can make it positive together and make each other happier together. And I think that that's really important. I used to feed much more into the negativity and really get caught up in it, but we have control over it now. You know what I mean? I don't want trolls and people that flame other people and all that kind of stuff in our community, and we make that pretty clear, and that makes it safe for everybody to come hang out with us. You know, and I think that that's essential. You know, and I think that that's why Kind of Funny is working right now, and I'm more excited about the interaction that I'm seeing with people in the community, like you were saying, Tim. Than we love the interaction between us and you, but I love watching that because you just don't see that at a lot of in a lot of venues or a lot of outlets. And it's fucking awesome. So keep it up, guys.
Well, you guys are awesome. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's
Thank you.
greatly
Keep supporting
appreciated.
us. We'll keep doing it.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Otherwise, we're going to be poor and live on the street.
Or sell drugs.
Hey, I'm Scott.
What's your name?
Scott.
Oh, Scott. Sorry, I missed it.
No
Damn
worries.
it, I fucked it up.
I know that we're in a bit enemy territory, me and you, Colin, but go Jets and Islanders.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I can take it.
Sports talk.
Perhaps
Sports
you've already addressed this to a degree, but what are the differences between covering trade shows like GDC and E3 and planning to cover trade shows shows like this, fan events like PAX and Comic-Con? And perhaps you can speak a little bit to what are your future plans to grow and evolve your coverage of it.
I mean, E3 and GDC are industry side focused, right?
Yep.
That's where there's announcements, new demos, new things to see. The PAX ones are all about community, and even when we were at IGN, that was the same way. Right? I was always going to shake hands, go, do a panel, do whatever, try to get on as many panels as I can, and that's because the demos there, like for the big games, the games that would drive traffic on IGN were smaller, right? But now these so many indies, right? And so many indies can only get to certain shows, right? Like I went to the Giant Bomb, and this is just how nimble we can be, and I haven't even told them this.
Right.
This is a world exclusive to you, Scott. Went to the Giant Bomb panel on Friday, and Vinny was talking about 12 minutes Everybody know what I'm talking about here? This game down in the mini, not even the Indie Mega booth, the Indie Mini booth, which is weird. And it sounded awesome, and it's like Groundhog's Day, and you have to figure out how to not get killed by this cop or whatever. And it's like, all right, great, like that sounds amazing. And I went down there to talk to that guy, right? And I didn't want to take the controller away. It wasn't a press thing; it's for them. But I'm talking to him, and he's like, oh yeah, and I'm in San Francisco. I'm like, oh, well, come on, Colin and Greg live like next week, and then show the game after. He's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah.
awesome.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
perfect. That's easy. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I had to jump through a million hoops to get it done. And then the fact that this show can be, no, you talk to the people, let them play your game. We'll figure our side of it out later. I'll see you down the line somewhere else. If that works.
Yeah. Well, also, and there's a distinction, right? Like when we came here, it wasn't to cover anything, right? We just wanted to see you guys, and we wanted to see some games. That's it.
Awesome.
Like the reason Kind of Funny is working and will work, I think, and continue to grow is that we're not trying to compete with big outlets.
Right.
We're not them, and we were them, and we're not them anymore. They're gonna do, if you want to read a conventional preview of, I don't know, Bloodborne or something like that. Well, Bloodborne's coming out soon, but you know what I mean. Game X. Then you can go to those sites and do that. But if you want something like a little different from us about games we care about, like with GDC, it was awesome to when we did Colin and Greg live for 18 hours. Like it was like the greatest hits of Colin games, you know. And
because I booked games I knew Colin would like, and that I knew I liked, and I knew that Tim would like Owlboy. And
Owlboy is awesome.
And people that follow you will also like those games too. So that's
yeah, and it's cool. Like coming to a show like this usually meant, what is my schedule? These are my appointments. Then I have to run to the hotel and write. Then I have to do this video. Then I have to sleep for a few hours and stuff like that. And we don't have to do that anymore. And if you guys want that, there are people that are going to do that better than we could do it anyway. So you know, it's about. Someone asked before, like, what do you do to succeed, or how do you get people's attention? Do something different, or do it your own way. Thank you for your
Thanks a
question.
lot, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Scott.
you for the question.
Thank you.
Hello, best friend.
Hi,
What's your name?
it's Cameron.
Cameron.
Hi, Cameron.
My question is about the Vita 2.0, and Greg and Colin, what do you think? When do you think Sony's going to do it, and when do you think they're going to announce it? And also for Nick and Tim, why haven't you bought a Vita?
Thank you.
Shots fired, Tim.
Shots fired.
So, do we not count the slim model as 2.0?
No, I'm talking about like the second Vita.
Oh, okay. So Vita 2.
Yeah.
They won't do Vita 2. Colin always says if anyone's crazy enough to do Vita 2, it's them. But I don't think so.
Yeah, Sony's definitely the company that would be crazy enough to double down on something like Vita, but I wish they would, but they're not going to. But Vita's not going to die. I mean, Vita lives. You know, some people like, you know, these guys are, you know, well, Tim is, you know, so impressed, and Andrea with the 3DS's vaunted catalog of games, as you all know, this amazing catalog of games. But Vita has plenty of games coming up. There are, we were reading, and we've said it on the show before, Vita actually has more announced games than any other platform. So it lists some ports, some indie games. Severed's an exclusive.
I'm trying to high five you. Drink bucks.
So no, they won't do another Vita, but Vita will live. It's just that Vita entered PSP's death spiral immediately. And that was the major problem. But people forget that PSP sold so well because you could pirate the shit out of games on it. That's why everyone bought one. People really forget
Best
that
system of all time.
People forget that after like the first couple of years of PSP, no one was buying any PSP games. They were just buying PSPs so they can homebrew. And that's why it sold 82 million units. So it's not like Vita, Vita will be fine.
And the Vita can't do that, so that's upsetting.
Yeah, well, they were smarter about that. They have to answer their own question about why they don't own one, though.
Well, I can answer for Tim. Tim actually wants one, but he's waiting because he wants to buy Sean Finnegan's Vita, and Sean Finnegan won't come down in price, so they're stuck in this like stalemate.
Well, no, okay. So here's the deal with it: is I refuse to buy the second one because I need that OLED screen. I'm not going to buy one with the worst screen.
You're all crazy. You are all crazy.
The day that I was going to buy one was, and I didn't know that they were going to discontinue those. I thought they were just going to sell both next to each other like Nintendo does. But no, they don't. So I went to Best Buy, and they're like, oh, you can get the Borderlands bundle. I'm like, I don't want the Borderlands bundle. And they're like, oh, yeah, that one doesn't have the OLED screen. I'm like, well, then you're fucking crazy. And since then, I've just been trying to eBay the OLED one. I actually have a Google Chrome tab of eBay right now. Last night, I was looking to buy a Vita. So I am trying to buy a Vita. I want people to know that. They're selling the OLED ones for, like, if they're new, we're talking like $300. I'm like, you can go fuck yourself. I've been to a bunch of games that didn't even have them. We'll figure this out. It's a whole thing.
You can all yell at them in the question and answer line about this.
Whoa, he's looking at you.
Okay, fine. And then
looking
Nick
at
doesn't like games.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting back into gaming, so that to me having a handheld device
Nick,
is like
Nick
years
saw,
from now. I
Nick
gotta
got
like
to see the filet mignon that is Persona 4, and he's just like, I don't get it. 70 hours of this? What are you doing? Nah, nah,
'cause-
nah.
God, that game is fucking strange. I don't know how you can do it. That shit must twist you.
Does.
It makes sense why
In the
you
good
are
ways.
who you are and why you do.
Chie for life. Cameron,
I think you make friends.
for asking the first PlayStation question, I have gifts for you. Our friends here in the very front row, or second row actually, I can't count. Proven Gamer are celebrating their 200th episode next week. They brought T-shirts and they brought $20 PlayStation Network cards. So come get this, Cameron. Everybody go get it. Shows Trophy Horse, Proven Gamer. They have 199 episodes for you to catch up on.
Hello, you four gracious gentle sirs.
Hello. What's your name, Mr. Flatterer?
I'm Raul.
Raul.
Ooh. By the way, just a quick note before my question. Thank you again, Greg, for loving my pitch for Just Cause 4.
Oh, no problem. That's what I do.
So,
I love pictures of Just Cause 4. That's what I do.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I'm known for. Hey, real quick, while we're thinking about it, you want to announce the special guest for the Game Over Greggy show next week that we're going to record next week?
Oh yeah, Ramon, my best friend from Northeastern.
Ramon.
If you want fucked up Colin Moriarty stories,
Yeah,
next week's going to be it.
The assumption is, so Ramon and I have been really, really tight since we met at Northeastern, and he is the font of awful Colin stories. And so I think that and just funny Colin stories. So I think that will be the major topic. And they're kind of twisted probably, and maybe we don't even want to talk about them, but we'll find out.
Sorry. Go ahead.
but my question was basically, you guys leaving IGN and also an example, Inside Gaming becoming Funhouse on Rooster Teeth. Do you just feel like now people are starting to get to understand it's like we don't need like a major thing. We could just, do it on our own or, find someone else that embraces us as to who we are. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's totally it. Yeah, I think you're seeing with us and Adam and even Jim Sterling, right? You're seeing these people get to this point where it's like, well, what's next? You know what I mean? Yeah. For years it's been, well, I've been a video game journalist for this many years. I'll go into PR now. You know what I mean? Like there's like these different avenues, but there's the industry and this job are still so young that we're still all trying to figure out what happens next. But I think, yeah, you get to the point of like 8 years at IGN, and I'm the face of IGN, and yeah, I'm at IGN, and it's like, well, what does that mean? You know what I mean? I could do that for the first, Colin always talked about it. We could be there forever, probably do beyond forever and ever and ever. But it's like, is that personally giving us any satisfaction other than, the paycheck and the life, but the same meetings, the same conversations, the same rigmarole.
5 minutes, Craig.
Damn it, really?
She did it like this. She was
You
like,
monster.
powerful.
She's
I'm kidding, I
enforcing
know.
the 5-minute rule.
Remember, afterwards, we're all going to go sign and do stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what room we're going to for that yet? Can you ask the woman with teal hair? She knew. She will know.
And also, it's not an either or, right? I mean, it's not a matter of one replacing the other. It's a matter of there's just more options out there. If you want a resource side or if you want different opinions, you got them now, which is cool.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Also, Hail Hydra.
See, hell,
Shit
Hydra.
got real.
What's going on, guys?
Hello.
Hey, I was just wondering.
What's your name?
Wait.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I'm Scott. Nice to meet
Hi,
you.
Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Wow, this is fucking sick. So I was just wondering, when are we gonna see more of Tim and Nick?
Oh. You're
I
gonna see a lot
love
more.
Greg and Colin, but I'm waiting for you guys.
We've been around a long time.
You're going to
Yeah.
see a lot of stuff. We've talked about a lot of things, and it's like Greg was saying, this is hard. We've been doing GDC
Yeah.
and PAX and all this stuff. But like next week, we really do need to sit and kind of plan the future of what we're doing. But when Conversation with Colin this season ends, we're trying to have a show that's me and Nick start. We're still figuring out exactly what that is. But in an ideal world, Tim and Nick would have a YouTube show and a Twitch show.
Oh,
So it'll
sick.
be good.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I love what you guys do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take it easy.
Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Duncan.
Hi, Duncan.
So I was realizing on the train to the meet and greet last night sort of where I was when that news broke that you guys quit IGN. I'm curious sort of what your story is or where you were when sort of the internet exploded with we quit our jobs at IGN, because personally I thought it was kind of a huge deal.
We were at the kitchen table all together, and then we were arguing over if we should use the thumbnail that was me yelling that said we quit IGN.
And I didn't.
And when we came down to like a split decision, Tim and I did because we believed in it, and they didn't because they didn't. And we were like, hey, that's it. That's done. That's
I don't
awesome.
want to. I was trying
And I
not to.
pushed it live and said, "Fuck everybody," and it worked.
Yeah, so our office went from this amazing space that IGN has to Colin and Greg's apartment. And so my desk went from a cool cubicle to, well, not a cool cubicle, a cubicle.
Just a cubicle. It really is just a cubicle.
They downsized.
They got smaller and smaller the longer we were there.
To their kitchen table. And it's funny because where we sat that day is now where we all sort of sit forever. I mean, I went and I sat in this chair, and it was such a cool day because we were like, it was very nerve-wracking. We're like, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how this reaction is going to be. We don't know if we're going to get any pickup whatsoever, or if it's just going to kind of fall flat. And I think because of that, like, I now sit in that same chair as Tim. You always beeline over to the end of the table. Colin sits across from me, and Greg kind of is never there because he's always fluttering around, planning things.
Fluttering
and planning.
But it was cool. So we were all there. We were there together. We got there early in the morning, and we kind of just watched. And it was an amazing, amazing outcry of support. And kind of people going, "What?" and people tweeting at us like, "You're crazy and you're assholes," or whatever, but we support you. And that was actually the coolest thing, is that we got a lot of criticism. A lot of people saying like, "How could you do this? Why would you do this?" But then it was always like, "Period, but we support you. But we're on your side. But it's awesome, but great. But good luck, but hey, we're here." And yeah, it was an awesome day. It was a cool day. Awesome.
Yeah, and some people saying, like that we were crazy, and I'm like, yeah, we were.
Yeah,
that's why.
But look at us now.
Well, I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I mean,
just meant they're on a panel.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we have a lot to figure out, but yeah, it was cool. It was bold, and yeah, we were all just kind of waiting. And the funny thing is that we talked about, we figured it out. Really, we started talking about it in September, and after the original Patreon went up, and then in October we decided. We told IGN, and then our bosses told everyone in November, and internally, and somehow it didn't leak. Like, I have no idea like how no one said anything, because even when Greg and I went to PlayStation Experience, and we told Sony, they were like, "Oh yeah, we know." Like, and it's like, okay, how? So word was getting around, but somehow like the reader or the viewers and the listeners never knew, and so that was a huge blessing because I was waiting. I would Google search and like tweet search on Twitter every day like who's breaking this news before it's time.
I remember you were like this. We got a gaff thread.
No,
I remember Gaff went down.
Yeah, Neil Gaff went down,
right.
and it wasn't because of us, but we're gonna take credit for it. But that was the thing. Me and Colin were so pissed because we're just like, we need this right now. We need a Gaff thread talking about this moment, and then it ended up being okay.
Yeah, it was fine.
Where were you that day?
I was in the middle of English class, and I had to leave and like text my friends like, "Guys, they quit IGN. This is insane." And I was sitting there and closed my computer and just straight up like walked out of English and texted my buddies like,
And
"I have no
never
idea
went
what's
back
going
to
on."
that class.
And he's never got
That's
back
how
to
I
class
failed
since.
college.
I think the closest we ever got to fucking it up is that once you did say kind of funny games on the GameOverGreggy show.
One person caught that.
One person went to the page and commented, he's like, "Oh, Nick spoiled this. Can't wait to see what happens, lol." I was like, oh, no. But yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you
so
you.
much.
Do we have to wrap it up?
I go till they say time.
Okay.
What's your name?
We good? Okay. I'm the third Scott to be up here, so.
Hi, third Scott.
Cool. All right, I have a comment and a question. Comment, Helldivers on Vita is fucking amazing.
Damn right it is.
Anybody else playing Helldivers on Vita? It's awesome.
That's interesting. So a lot of people are shit talking the Vita version.
It's
Really?
all I've played. It's all I've played. And
It's
that's
awesome.
great.
Yeah.
I don't have any problems with it.
Love it. So I have the pleasure of working at Farsight Studios on the Pinball Arcade, and during your GDC stream, I was able to watch a good amount of it. My question is, what is each of your favorite like moments or highlight from the GDC stuff? Mine personally was having Harley on the GameOverGreggy show. That was crazy. That was
He was out of control.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved seeing Matt from Indie Creates, and obviously we know Tom really well from Axiom Verge because I was really one of the first people to champion that game in the industry. So it was cool to see like old friends. But actually having Sid Meier on was the coolest.
Awesome.
Sid Meier is the smartest motherfucker in the industry. I have no idea. I mean, we started to get into it, and I'm like, forget it. Like, we'll have to have him on the show or whatever. Like, how the depth of design in his games is like, he's just way smarter than everyone. So it was awesome to be in his company and just listen to him talk. Like really kind of in awe of him, to be honest.
For me, it was the Mike Bithell Shuhei Yoshida demo.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even just that like Shu was there and having fun. It was just like I knew Mike only through Twitter, really. You know what I mean? And then to get him in there and have him immediately be like fit right in, just like you guys all do. Best friend. It works, no problem. He's great. He was funny. She was funny. And then after the fact, he's another one of these guys who tweeted after the fact. He's like, hey, all these new followers, thanks for doing this. Like, how did you find me? And everyone was on it. Kind of funny, kind of funny, kind of funny, funny. You're like, that's awesome. You're such an amazing community. Like, to see someone come in and immediately get it. You know what I mean? Like, people sit down and they get it. Like, I think all the devs who sat down with us got that we were doing something different and that you guys were different, and that was awesome.
Yeah, for me, it was walking in and not seeing him at first, and then having Shuhei Ishida go, "Hi, Nick." I was like, "Hi." That's always a trip. It's always a trip that he comes.
For me, for games-wise, Owlboy is the shit, so I was really excited about that. But besides games, it was we had one group of people that didn't show up, just one. Everyone else made it, and we didn't panic, but we're like, what are we gonna do? And then Grace just like, Tim, Nick, go just like stall time. So me and Nick sit down, and instantly, a Fast and Furious 7 trailer drops, and we're just like, this was like a God-given gift.
No, what happened was at first, it was 4 seconds, and then you started talking about pubes.
No. I didn't start talking about pubes. Somebody asked us about pubes.
And then you started talking about pubes.
And rather than ignore the question, no one can see but you.
Someone asked, well, you have to answer.
I had to answer. But then, so we talked about pubes, and then God was like, here's a Furious 7 trailer. You guys can talk about it, and we did. And then
God
Paul
got you
Walker
off that
lowered his
topic
car,
already.
and he went under the other car. Oh, my God, guys, it's about family. This is going to be a good time.
It's about barbecue and family.
Thanks, guys.
Third, Scott.
Yeah.
Come get your PSN gift card. You talked about PlayStation from Proven Gamer. And then you also get the Kind of Funny sticker that I'll have to give away when we get there. Limited quantities. We are at time. So real quick, where's Frank? Frank, stand up. Who remembers Frank? He makes Blood Alloy. It's that crazy motherfucking game that's awesome. It's coming out in Vita, he yelled. He has Steam keys. If you want the fucking amazing-ass game where you use your jetpack and sword to go all over the place.
It's like
he's got
Attack on
Steam keys.
Titan, but on crack, and amazing.
Where is the guy who... Shut up, Frank. Now, so get it when we all go line up. He'll give it to you. And where is the guy who got his tickets from Colin and Greg Live on Twitch? There he is. Cher, stand up. You brought this man to PAX. Thank you very much. This is Cher. She donated those passes. Thank you for being a fan. Ladies and gentlemen, I still have more gifts to give you as you line up and do things. Thank you so much. I will answer your question, all of your questions, when we're over there together, wherever we go, wherever they put us. Thank you for coming. You allow us to live our dream. Our lives are 1,000% different, all because of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys.